This is industry using energy. The fire is almost 3,000 degrees, hot enough to turn steel into a liquid. The heat boils water for steam. Steam used for lots of different reasons. For dyeing yarn in this North Carolina textile plant. Processing chickens in a factory in Alabama. Or making candy in Tennessee. But what burns in the fire? A couple of years ago, it would have been oil. Oil from Saudi Arabia or Iran or some other OPEC country. Not today.
If it doesn't move, we'll try to burn it.
That could very well be the motto of Chattanooga's Richard Pincelli, a guy who helps industry find American energy sources. He sells special boilers to industries all over the country who want to quit burning oil. And if they don't burn oil these days, what do they burn?
We, for example, have burned peanut hulls, ground paper products, Dixie cups, chewing gum from a major gum manufacturer, hogged carpet scrap, textile waste, all kinds of what they refer to as cotton motes, the cotton hulls, etc. Sunflower seed, safflower seed hulls, to some extent soybean hulls.
Well, the list of waste products that we have in this country is almost endless. This, for example, is some plastic insulation material, which burns very well. And this, believe it or not, is pelletized municipal waste, straight from the city dump.
Almost since the day in 1857 when Edwin Drake drilled the first oil well in Pennsylvania, oil has been our #1 energy source. We've been used to having all of it we needed.
Speeding along the rolling highway, singing a song to the rhythm of the road. The sun's in the sky, a heaven of blue, the world passes by. You feel so happy when you're sweeping along the highway, singing a song to the rhythm of the road.
But in the 100 years of oil plenty that followed, America somehow went from a have nation to a have-not one. These days, OPEC controls the price. In just 8 years, a barrel of crude shot up from $3 to $34. In 1985, the price is expected to climb to $80, and that's only if peace is kept.
You have to appreciate that Middle Eastern politics goes back 5,000 years. I think it's very unrealistic to expect a solution and a stable supply from that unstable area in the next 3 to 4 years, or next 2 decades for that matter, when the last 5,000 years has been unstable.
So that's the problem. Dependence on expensive oil from unpredictable places. So what's the solution? Well, at Brock Candy in Chattanooga, they use starch trays to make jelly beans. And when they get finished with the trays, they just burn them. At ConAgra, the chicken place in Enterprise, Alabama, you'll see the people there mixing chicken feathers with other fuels. But many waste products have drawbacks. Either they can't be gathered up easily, they're bulky to handle, or they don't provide much heat. Even that municipal garbage has a problem.
Yeah, pantyhose. Yeah, that's the #1 problem. Actually, municipal waste will be a good utilizable fuel in the future. However, it's a very non-homogeneous fuel. And by that I mean that you can have in one parcel of garbage a car engine block, and in another parcel what was left over from 50,000 chickens being plucked, and in another parcel a lot of pantyhose that wraps up in all your conveyors and your machinery and destroys it.
However, there are 2 good all-American alternatives to oil.
Every time we go to a furniture area, for instance in North Carolina, Hickory, Lenore, and so forth, we see mountains of wood waste being landfilled. We have, in fact, flown our airplanes over literally mountains of energy.
Nowadays, whole trees can be chipped up right in the woods. And if it seems a shame to chip up a perfectly good tree, you have to realize this is a good chance to get rid of all the undesirable trees in the forest. Foresters love it.
It allows us to sell something off the land that was previously something that we had to pay to get rid of. And so it makes forestry more profitable for the landowner.
The other energy source is coal, and we have enough of that in America to last 200 years.
I was real leery about it because several years ago, say 25 years ago, we burned coal, and there was a lot of work involved in it then. But they made a lot of improvements on the stokers, the burners, and it does a tremendous job now. We're real pleased with it.
Here's Frank Brock of Chattanooga's Brock Candy Company.
I always felt like it was a little bit ridiculous to buy oil from the Middle East when we could buy coal from 30 miles up the road.
That's why J&C Yarn Dyeing in Shelby, North Carolina is putting in one of Richard's boilers.
It's hard to put a dollars and cents value on this uncertainty, but it may come to being that people that can burn domestic fuels will be able to operate, and those that are dependent on foreign sources may someday be cut off and have to shut the plant down.
Now there is one problem with burning anything solid, the ash that's left over. But businessmen are coming up with novel solutions to that problem too.
It has to be emptied about every 8 hours, and we've used the used the ash to make a cinder track over here, a jogging track for our employees.
So this is just one of the ways our energy problems are being solved. If we can't burn oil, we'll just burn what we do have. And people like Frank Brock feel more secure than they have since the oil crisis of '73.
We're going to have candy if nobody else does.